Did you know that fat, not glucose from carbs, is the preferred fuel of the human metabolism? And it's been that way for most of our evolution. For context, modern agriculture only started 10,000 years ago, but the human body, through 2.5 million years of evolution, evolved as an efficient fat burner. And contrary to popular belief, we actually only require a minimal amount of glucose. Most or all can be supplied by the liver as needed on a daily basis through a process called gluconeogenesis. Your body runs a pretty tight shift. Technically speaking, there are actually no essential carbs. Essential means our bodies can't make it or can't make enough of it for us to be healthy and happy human beings, so we have to get it from our diet. There are, however, essential fats like omega-3 and omega-6, and there are essential amino acids from protein like leucine, isoleucine, and valine. The best and most bioavailable sources of essential fats and protein are animal foods. I mean, we've been eating animals since the beginning of time, and I have talked about the importance of moderating insulin ad nauseum on my channel. You just don't want to have a massive insulin spike from your meals. Unfortunately, we've done the opposite. We've become a carb-dependent society, or as I like to call it, carbivores, which is literally the definition of metabolic inflexibility. And this carb dependency has driven us to experience a laundry list of metabolic problems. The excess glucose from carb intake, especially from processed carbs and sugar, has been the main driver in obesity and in many disease processes like diabetes and stroke. Some experts even now use the name diabesity, but the catch-all term for this is metabolic syndrome, because out of all three macronutrients, carbs, especially refined carbs and sugar, is found to be the most insulinogenic. Insulinogenic means it's fattening. That's why insulin is widely regarded to be the master hormone, because it's a hormone that controls our body weight. So it follows logically that if you can limit your carbs to under 150 grams a day, and ideally under 100 from whole foods like nuts, vegetables, and some seasonal fruit, and make up the difference with delicious fats and protein like cheese and meat, you can literally reprogram your genes back to the original factory setting that you had at birth. And you can do this in as little as 21 days. You just have to send the right signal to your genes to become metabolically flexible again. Because the human body is really smart. It knows what to do. And you actually need to eat some healthy fats, to kickstart this process. It takes fat to burn fat. Who knew? And you want to start this process by using the concept of addition by subtraction, because what you stop eating has far more impact to your health than what you start eating. First, you want to eliminate grains, sugar, industrial seed oils, and any attachment you might have regarding those foods. Industrial seed oils might be the most insidious one, because at least with carbs and sugar, your body can burn it off. Industrial seed oils does nothing but harm to your body. And I'm going to break this down in further detail in just a second. But if you can get rid of those big three and naturally limit your carb intake to vegetables, root tubers, and a few seasonal fruits, you'll almost inevitably land under 150 grams of carbs a day or even less. For context, the average North American consumes a mind-bending 500 to 600 grams of highly processed, insulinogenic carbs every day, and with as much as 70% of their calories coming from the big three. And again, insulinogenic means it's fattening. We eat way too much and way too often of the wrong kind of food. So you'll want to fill your plate up with colorful vegetables because they're naturally low in carbs and high in antioxidants. Things like broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, mushrooms, and sweet potatoes. Get creative. It should fill up the bulk of your plate. Green leafy vegetables especially are basically free calories. If you don't enjoy vegetables, I'd argue that you just don't know how to prepare them properly. The secret, I'd say, is adding butter. Roasted vegetables with butter is absolutely delicious. I've also never met anyone who didn't enjoy homemade sweet potato chips. Next, you want to eat at least a palm-sized serving of animal protein for every meal. That should cover the minimum of 30 grams to trigger muscle protein synthesis. You can eat fish, fowl, beef, lamb, pork. You can even eat bugs if you want. High-quality salmon, if you can get access to it, is one of your best choices for meat because it's naturally high in anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids. You can also go for grass-fed and grass-finished meat or other cold water oily fish like sardines, anchovies, and mackerel. They're also a little bit cheaper. Eggs from happy nesting pastured chickens also fit the bill. Eggs should be a staple in your diet because it contains hard-to-find nutrients like lutein and choline, which are vitamins for your eyes and brain. It's basically nature's version of a multivitamin. And for crying out loud, eat the yolk. That's actually where all the nutrients are. And no, cholesterol and fat isn't bad for you. Your body makes its own cholesterol, for crying out loud. You would die without it. For context, Dr. Sean Baker, he's one of the big names in the carnivore diet space, routinely crushes a dozen eggs and 10 slices of bacon with some goat cheese in one sitting. Talk about the perfect omelet. He's 54 years old and he looks like that. He also regularly posts his biomarkers and they're all amazing. Dr. Paul Saladino, another big name in the carnivore diet space, recently posted a picture of his arteries. You know, the arteries that are supposed to be full of plaque after years of eating meat and saturated fat. Yeah, good luck finding any in that picture. He's 44 years old and he also looks like that. And as always, there are levels. If you can't afford grass-fed and grass-finished beef and pastured eggs, that's fine. It's not a big deal. Just buy the highest quality meat you can afford. It'll still put you in a completely different level when it comes to your health. And then you want to replace the cheap, unhealthy cooking oil you've most likely been using with healthy fats like coconut oil, avocado oil, macadamia nut oil, butter, or ghee. Heck, even bacon grease works. Making this switch might be the most important dietary changes you can make, because industrial seed oils like canola, corn, safflower, soybean, and rapeseed oil are very high in polyunsaturated fatty acids, which promote inflammation and the accumulation of toxins in body fat. Because they're highly unstable, especially when heated at high temperatures. Basically, the human body is not made to consume them. Contrary to what we've been told, industrial seed oils are not heart healthy or otherwise beneficial for our bodies and brain. Whatever sign they put on the label literally means nothing. In fact, there's plenty of research that now shows that these oils are making us sick. I can't remember the expert who said this, but consuming these oils is basically like eating radiation. It's that bad for you. Unfortunately, a majority of highly processed foods contain these toxic industrial seed oils. You can bet that almost all fast food joints use them, and they keep reusing that same rancid oil. That's why fast food is so cheap. Most restaurants also use this nasty stuff. They do it to save money. A simple switch you can do is to ask the chef to cook your food in butter. This is why it's so important to read the label of any food you're about to consume. Trust me, industrial seed oils are everywhere. Also, the fact that whatever food you're looking at has a nutritional label sticker should automatically raise some red flags, because that means that it's been processed in some way, shape, or form. You can bet that you'll find these toxic seed oils in processed foods like cereal and granola bars. It's breaking my heart showing you this example, because who doesn't like chicken nuggets, but those are the ingredients. Compare that to eating a roasted chicken thigh. The golden rule is you want to eat single ingredient, mostly processed, nutrient-dense foods. I'm talking about real food. Try to consume all your meals in a 6 to 8 hour window. And if you combine this dietary switch with a couple of resistance training sessions a week, increased general everyday movement, and adequate sleep, you're naturally going to regulate your appetite hormones. You won't feel hungry in between meals, you're going to feel great, and you're absolutely going to be winning. Now, if you enjoyed this video and want to keep doing a deep dive because there's so much more to learn, then you're going to love this one. I'll see you there.